I'm going to walk you guys through pretty quickly of a case study of a brand that we helped out. They were in a nightmare 3PL scenario that I'm going to give you guys a quick overview on to show you how we helped them transition from a really bad circumstance to a much better one where they're able to scale their company and keep focusing on stuff outside of logistics again. So I took a couple notes here. Let me read through. So they are a mainstream CPG beverage brand, and they have large scale retail distribution of their beverages. They have like five different warehouses. The 3PL that they were with, they were more of a freight company, right? So they specialized in, pallets out, getting these to big distributors like Walmart and Target and other suppliers like that. So they weren't bad at that portion of it, and the scale that these guys were doing this at, they weren't doing that bad of a job. But here's the kicker. So these guys' brand is so strong that they decided to create an apparel portion of their brand as well. Very similar to like Tesla, right? So have you ever, Tesla has one of the strongest brands out there, and they come out with limited edition side projects. Like they have Tesla tequila that they came out with. They came out with the Tesla flamethrower. They have a Tesla surfboard. And they can do this because their brand is so strong and their following is so loyal that whenever they do these limited edition drops of 2,500 flamethrowers, they sell out like that for a really good price. So they can make quick hit margin on that. That is very similar case to this brand that we helped out. Brand is so strong on the beverage CPG side of the house that they were able to push into the apparel side of the house, continue to grow their brand and leverage the strength of their brand to start another revenue stream outside of their core focus of business. And you may be able to see where this is going from a 3PL nightmare perspective, because the 3PL that they were with, although they were great at the pallets in, pallets out distribution, apparel distribution, and even more specifically, drop-based apparel that is fast turning is a much different fulfillment game than what their 3PL that they were using was set up for. So here's how we helped them out. So they quickly scaled that. This will show you the just size of the company, to 15 to 20,000 orders per month on the apparel side of the house, and mixed in with the apparel, although probably 90% of it was apparel. Same thing, just like Tesla, they would throw in like other fun items in there as well, like limited edition candles and lamps and like other random stuff that actually looked really cool because it had their super strong brand logo on it. But for all intents and purposes, that's kind of a one-off with this. It was mostly apparel, is mostly apparel. So we ended up helping them find a 3PL that is apparel specific, can also do the other one-offs like the candles and stuff like that, but specialize in apparel, actually morphed into a 3PL because this 3PL started their own apparel brands that were doing tens and tens of millions of dollars in sales a year. And it ended up becoming the perfect fit for these guys for a couple different reasons. So one, they were able to handle the high SKU counts of apparel, able to handle the much higher return rates for apparel. And they have their own print on demand and screen printing section of the business literally in their 3PL. So not only could they help them source the actual garments for much cheaper from a supplier that they had, they could also print everything directly in-house. So they didn't have, so what they were doing before was ordering it at a screen printing shop, ordering the garments, taking it to the warehouse, sending the clothing to the warehouse, getting the garments printed at the warehouse, having the finished garment sent to the warehouse, and then having the warehouse send it in a not efficient manner to the end customer. They were like triple stacking margin from a manufacturing and a shipping perspective. We found them a 3PL that could do all of this in-house and get their cost of goods for cheaper from Pakistan for their shirts and their sweatshirts and the other apparel that they were creating. And then on top of that, so here's the last portion of it. So not only could they do the logistics portion and save them a ton of money and do it efficiently at a really, really, really high level, the last kicker is since they have scaled their own apparel brand successfully, have access to a little bit over 500 retailers on their network that they've broken into with their own apparel brands. So what they're currently doing with the brand that we introduced them to is helping them break into the retail market now for their apparel. So, talk about just total 180 in logistics experience. Not only did we help solve the customer satisfaction issue, we helped drastically save them money from a cost of goods perspective, and from a product creation perspective. And lastly, their logistics company now turns into a sales channel profit center because they are literally walking them into the laps of retailers that are super excited about being able to get their brand's apparel into their retail stores. So that is, an all around great fit, great success story for us over here.